Breaking news. We will meet in court. Tinubu accepts Peter Obi's challenge. My country people, e don shele o. Finally, it's happening. The president-elect Asiwaju Bola Tinubu of the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC) has expressed his readiness to defend his mandate in court, saying he finally accepts the decision of the Labour Party candidate Mr. Peter Obi to challenge the outcome of the elections. Tinubu's position was made known in a statement issued on Thursday in Abuja and signed by the Director, Media and Publicity of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, Mr. Bayo Ononuga. Part of the statement reads, "We've watched with dismay today's press conference addressed by the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, where he made very weird and wild claims about the outcomes of the just concluded presidential and the National Assembly's election, an election in which he emerged as a second runner-up according to the results declared by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), and we welcome the decision of Mr. Peter Obi to seek redress in court. As an aggrieved party, if he is convinced of the evidence of the electoral fraud, he will present it before the tribunal as alleged. Going to court is a part of the electoral process, and it is the most decent, statesmanlike, and civilized course of action to take. We therefore salute the decision. It is surely better than calling supporters to the streets and instigating social unrest." Tinubu added that before Mr. Peter Obi goes to court, Tinubu considered it necessary to change some specific claims in his press address. He said, contrary to Obi's statement, it is not true. That the elections held on February 25th, 2023 was not free and fair. My country people, una dey hear wetin Bola Tinubu dey talk. According to Tinubu, he said the 2023 election is one of the most transparent and one of the most peaceful elections in the history of Nigeria. He said it because the process was credible. That made it possible for Mr. Peter Obi's Labour Party to record over 6 million votes if got contrary to the pre-election forecast. The Labour Party and Mr. Peter Obi surprised bookmakers by winning in Lagos State, even in Nasarawa, in Plateau, in Delta, in Edo, where they are sitting governors of either the APC or the PDP. Those governors have entranced political machinery. That Obi won, at least to the credibility of the election process in those states. Most of the sitting governors contested the election to go for the Senate and lost to little-known candidates of the Labour Party. So the Labour Party also swept the entire 5 southeast states under the control of either APGA, PDP or APC. So we believe that the Labour Party presidential candidate contradicted himself and exposed himself to the public ridicule by suggesting that the election was only credible in states and places that his party won. So we need us to forewarn Mr. Peter Obi that when he goes to court, he should be prepared to tell the whole world how his party won over 90% of votes in his region of the Southeast, while other parties got almost nothing. We have evidences of voter suppression. We have evidences of intimidation and harassment in the Southeast, especially those who came out to vote for the APC. Also, when Mr. Peter Obi goes to court, he will have to convince the court with his allegations of rigging in over 440,000 polling units across the country, especially in Northwest and Northeast, where his party had no party agent and did not sign result sheets as required by the law. So it is our assumption that the Labour Party will enlist PDP agents to prove its fraud claims, since it is an affiliate of the PDP. We want to state again for the untenth time that Peter Obi did not win the presidential election and could not have won under any circumstance. This is because he had no part to winning a national election in a multi-ethnic and multi-religious society like Nigeria, where a candidate running in a national election must appeal to the cross-section of our pluralistic society. So Peter Obi anchored his presidential campaign on a failed strategy of ethnicity and religion. The divisive and the dangerous politics that has nubbed the progress of our country for decades. Nigerians simply rejected an ethnic and religious bigot through their ballots. So for Peter Obi, Nigerians rejected him simply because he was parading himself up and down as a religious bigot and an ethnic bigot. Mr. Peter Obi, all through his campaign, presented himself as the candidate of the Christians and the church who wanted to help take back their country from the Nigerian Muslims. That was why he did not win the election. He was parading himself up and down like a Christian, and he left the Muslims out of this. His campaign also ran on the engine of ethnicity, inflaming strong Igbo sentiment. He also sought to cash in on the supposed youth discontent in Nigeria as fueled by the EndSARS protest in 2020. While the Labour Party positioned its candidate as the harvester of the youth vote, its planners forgot that Nigeria does not have a homogeneous and monolithic youth population that can deliver block votes to any candidate. So all the major parties that contested the elections also have strong youth appeal and supporters. Now, a lesson in Mr. Peter Obi's defeat in the election is that no politician in Nigeria can win a presidential race by being a sectional and an appointed candidate of any religion. Mr. Peter Obi and his party knew why they failed, and they know they had no plan or no path to victory with their negative and their dangerous campaigns. So we owe the Labour Party and Peter Obi the blunt truth, which is they failed the election, and no amount of misinformation about the election and the outcome can change the reality that Peter Obi failed this election. The APC added, "My wonderful people, this is really happening. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has spoken, and most Nigerians, feel that the major problem we have in this country is neither the political parties but INEC. That is why Nigerians, are holding INEC responsible for all the mess that had gone wrong at the presidential elections." I'm dropping here, guys. Kindly share your thoughts concerning this in the comment section down below. Thank you. Bye for now.